Weed Porn Daily podcast is brought to you by niggas who never podcast. The Weed Porn Daily podcast is brought to you by the Weed Porn Daily Stoner Shop. Shop.weedporndaily.com. We've got t-shirts, hoodies, pillows, iPhone cases, iPod cases, iPhone cases, all those iDevices, Galaxy S4 cases, I believe, and skins. And did I mention pillows? We have fucking pillows. We have pillows of pot. Like, we have a pillow that looks like a nug texture. It looks like a bag of nugs that you just open up. And you can literally stick your face in it because it's a pillow. And you can pass out because it's a pillow. Pillow. Like, I don't know. That, like, it amazes me every time I see that we have pot pillows. Like, that was a dream of mine, to, like, have a bed that has, like, pot textured sheets and pot textured pillows. And it's really fucking cheesy, but it's just one of those fantasies you have, you know? And you can fulfill it at shop.weedporndaily.com. We have actually a sale going on right now, so make sure to head over, and anything in our shop is free shipping, and that's until this Sunday, July 28th. So take advantage. No coupon code required, just throw that shit in your shopping cart and check out. And that's it. If you'd like to sponsor the Weed Porn Daily podcast, head over to weedporndaily.com/advertise. We have advertising slots open in our sidebar, website main part, and we can also advertise on Twitter, Instagram, all that jazz. Hit us up with whatever you'd like. We can advertise your products, your services, your company. We can do a partnership where, you know, you have a coupon code and we provide it to our followers. Any of that jazz, any products you'd like to give away to stoners, we've got thousands and thousands of just hungry stoners waiting for free shit. So advertise with us, weedporndaily.com/advertise. And send us any proposal you might have. We've worked with a lot of companies in the past. The most recent one was PGP Discounters, a medical marijuana delivery service in California. They were very nice. Alright, let's get this party started, shall we? It's been a while. And there's breaking news and good news and Weed Porn Daily news and plenty of nugs. So get your bowls packed, joints, blunts, rolled, hash nails heated. If you got a domeless nail, I'm giving you like a head start. Go, my brothers, heat. Or like a quartz nail. Got the bowl packed here with, I don't know the strain actually. It's some fruity shit that I've definitely had before. I haven't had the time to really, I literally just got it today. This is my second bowl of it. So I haven't had time to really decipher the dank yet. But cheers, it's definitely something fruity, definitely something sticky, man. Cheers. Cheers. Reminds me of Blue Dream. I think that's what it is. It's got that piney kush taste in the back, but in the front it's got that really dominant fruity blueberry taste. Sativa dominant for sure. Miss Weed Porn Daily is gonna love this. Sorry, you guys. Woo! Welcome to the WeedPorn Daily podcast. I'm Grouch, the editor, owner, designer, the asshole behind the ass box. If you'd like to check out WeedPorn Daily, head over to WeedPornDaily.com or follow us on Twitter at WeedPornDaily. We're on Instagram, Ganja Grouch, and we're on Vine, YouTube, Tumblr, all that shit, all WeedPorn Daily. You know where to find us. But yeah, it's been a while, you guys. I've been getting a lot of requests for a podcast on the YouTube channel, in the ass box, on Twitter, on Vine, everywhere. Just, you guys are coming out of the woodwork and calling me out, like, what the fuck, bro? Where's the fucking podcast? You keep talking about this so-called fucking podcast, yet I don't see any fucking updates, son. And, yeah, I was like, shit. People not only listen to my podcast, but they actually want to keep listening. Like, they want more content. It fucking fascinates me. But here we are. Here we are. I've got a lot of news to cover. I'm not going to go back in time from the last podcast, because that's just impossible. But I've handpicked 7 news articles here to cover. Some important stuff and some touchy stuff I wanna touch upon. Touchy. If you'd like to follow along, as always, head over to WeedPornDaily.com and hit the news button up top. Or you can go to blog.weedporndaily.com/tagged/news. I'm gonna go like opposite. Like, I'm gonna be going from present to like past, cause I'm lazy. Okay, I won't do that to you guys. I'll do it past the future. New Hampshire becomes 19th state to allow medical marijuana. Good news. I mean, you guys knew about this already. I've been reporting on the bill, and I've been reporting on it passing through the House and the Senate, and now it's official. The governor has signed a bill into law Tuesday, making New Hampshire the 19th state to allow residents with serious illnesses to access and use medical marijuana if their doctors recommend it. HB 573. It's interesting because I saw a lot of news outlets come out and start really getting excited and saying New Hampshire becomes the final New England state to legalize medical marijuana. And all the people in New York just stood their head up and go, what the fuck you talking about, man? Like, what? Like, yeah. And then the people in New Jersey are like, speak for your fucking self, son. We just opened up our first dispensary like last fucking month. Yeah. So, not the last New England state. But if you actually look, if you go to news up top on our website and the cannabis medical marijuana map laws under our ganja guides, you can see like a visual representation of the state of legalization and just how the map is really filling out over time. And if you do look at the New England states, we've got all the fucking, like, the corner of the U.S. up there is filled up. You know, we just need really Pennsylvania and New York now, and we'll be set. We'll be set. Well, we need, like, all the other states. We need, like, 31 other states. But for New England, I think Pennsylvania counts as a New England state, if I have my history right, which I probably don't. But yeah, good news, New Hampshire. The only thing I remember was really well, not really shitty, but it's not the best situation. The New Hampshire law requires, what was it? I want the exact quote here. Like, you can't grow, and the only places that have medical marijuana will be licensed hospitals. And there are like 3, and only one of them wants to do it. And then the licensed hospital is only allowed to grow 3 like approved strains. Like, it's a really, really tight and close system. So it's going to be interesting to see how many medical marijuana patients really get access in New Hampshire. we've had this problem with a lot of other states where they pass a medical marijuana law, like New Jersey I mentioned before. And they pass this law and all the regulations are there, but either, cities or local officials or just somebody's given the entrepreneurs a hard time and they can't open up a dispensary, or the regulations don't allow for dispensaries. I don't think New Jersey allows for home growing. Just all these regulations just really stifle access to medical marijuana, and just make it like why did we even pass this law? Almost, the prices don't really change, even on the streets. It's ridiculous. I'm just looking up New Jersey law here to confirm. If you want to follow along, oh my god, these are like the most sketch websites. The Medical Marijuana Policy Project, the MPP.org. Should have just come here in the first place. Let's see, not really seeing. The first dispensary opened up in December 2012 and began serving patients, and the second dispensary just opened up last month in June. Yeah, sorry, second dispensary. But still, that's 2 dispensaries, while in California there are so many dispensaries it outnumbers the number of Starbucks and McDonald's, allegedly. Yeah. Interesting. Not really seeing any information on that. I'd have to look into that another time. But yeah, New Hampshire, and New Jersey. Now that you guys have medical marijuana laws, you can actually change them, though. Usually you have to wait like a year or 2 after the passage of the bill before you can actually start appealing for any changes. But get out there, join your local NORMR group, and start petitioning for a wider list of symptoms and more access, bro. Fucking home grow at least. Like, what an insult, man. Like, first they tell you that they're not gonna give you pot, that you have to grow it yourself, and the sick person in a wheelchair who's suffering from cancer is supposed to figure out a way to cultivate a garden over like 3+ months of time. And now they're saying, no, that's being too lenient because people abuse it. So now that person in the wheelchair has to go to the capital city to this one dispensary to pick up their medicine. It's pretty ridiculous. Shuffling around stoners, man. A little sad news here. Sad news. 6 bodies found in remote village in northern Mexico area where marijuana opium grown. I won't get into it. It's just like beheading this, like dudes hanging that, like corpses here. It's the usual Mexico crime gang news, but I like to report on this stuff to let you guys know that the drug war is still going on and that people die every day. Like, Mexico is fucking, like, you think, I don't even know. I'm trying to think of a country that people might think is bad, but think of whatever country you think is bad in your mind, like, shit on it, and then go, like, fucking, like, right next door to the USA, to Mexico, and see how bad that is, and get kidnapped, and get beheaded, and get hung from a fucking turnpike as a symbol. Like, it's pretty gruesome down there. It's the whole stretch, just Mexico, South America. It's pretty terrible, the whole, like, the strip of violence. And we like to sit here and USA, Canada, and even Europe, and it's like we pretend like we're safe and that our policies are good and that they're right. And we don't realize that our policies have a global effect, and that even though that you might pass this, you don't want marijuana in your states because think of the children. Well, you ban marijuana in your state, and suddenly you create violence in Mexico. Like, fuck you, soccer mom. Like, I don't really give a fuck about your kid. I still care about these people getting beheaded. Like, innocent people just getting pulled from their homes and, like, fucking shot and killed. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. If you guys ever want, like, a good sample of it, it was really interesting. Vice did a documentary recently with the Romney family. Mitt Romney's, like, extended cousins or something. And they're, like, part of a Mormon community in Mexico. And they've been dealing with cartels coming in and, like, killing and murdering their people. And the Mormons have actually picked up arms, which is against Mexico law, and tried to fight back. So it's fascinating. And just a really good example of just violence upon violence, and how violence just leads to more violence, and how we just really need to change our legislation. Like, it's just all on the heads of these politicians, while the officials and the police have to deal with all this death, and just just sad news, man. Sad news. Legalize it. Let people know that it's not just about you. It's not just about cancer patients. It's also about people fucking dying in foreign countries, like, for no fucking reason, and fucking gangs and criminals, like, making money off of this prohibition and becoming more powerful and laughing in the faces of the politicians who keep it illegal. Let them know. Let them know. I thought this was an interesting article. Colorado pot lobby outspends opponents 4-1. This comes to us from Cannabis Now. And basically it talks about how the pro-cannabis groups in Colorado had like 4 times the amount of money that anti-pot people had. And it's been something that a lot of pro-legalization groups have been touting for a while, and it's something that people try to deny because they're cheap. But money does make a difference. Money in the political world pulls strings. Money, like super PACs, man. Like, what the fuck? Like, money is what matters. So if you have a state like Washington and Colorado where they legalize marijuana, and those states got incredible funding from millionaires to be able to, get the ballot initiatives out, get volunteers, get people to sign signatures, get awareness out, get commercials out, get ads out, etc. All that costs money, mad money. And then we have Oregon, who at the same time where Washington and Colorado were legalizing, was also trying to get its own legalization measure out. And Oregon, if you look at the numbers, had significantly less money to its pro-cannabis groups. And they say that was a huge part of it not passing. Like, it wasn't a matter of, people just not supporting it. It was just a matter of there not just being enough money to get it out there. So really, if you have any spare cash, man, if you want to really support the cause and you can't get out there and you don't want to expose yourself, physically at those protests, and, you don't want to be seen, I feel you. You want to keep a low profile. Just donate to pro-cannabis group, man. You can write it off on your taxes. The only people that really look at that are the fucking, the government, whatever. But if the government's looking at you, they're already looking at you, bro. It's not like, I don't know. I highly doubt they're pulling up their database and searching normal donations. But, feel free to donate to NORML, ASA, MPP, DPA. There are just a lot of non-profit cannabis organizations out there that really are the ones who are, you have to give them the credit for passing these new laws and progressing the pot movement forward so much. We can sit back and smoke our weed and smoke it at a reduced price over time and reduce penalties over time thanks to the efforts put into by these groups and the people involved and all the and everybody who donates and everything. So yeah, important to donate. Over 24 Colorado cities ban recreational cannabis sales. This also brought to us by Cannabis Now. This was interesting. I've been seeing news articles pop up. Oh, excuse me. That's the Cuban chicken sandwich from earlier. Oof. Fuck it, like fucking destroyed. Like I completely lost my train of thought. But the Colorado cities recently have been banning recreational marijuana sales, even before cannabis stores have been able to open legally. And it's really interesting because in the articles we've got the governor. Let me get the exact quote here. The governor coming out and saying some pretty stupid shit on why it should be illegal in the city. Here we go. Colorado's second most populous city, Colorado Springs, opts out of retail marijuana sales. The mayor, I'm sorry, not the governor, Steve Bach, called retail pot sales a job killer for our region. Really? So you're saying that by inviting a brand new industry into your city, by inviting, people who want to open cannabis stores and cannabis grows, who that alone they're gonna need space, so they're gonna get the fucking realtors and anybody who owns the land some money, and then they're gonna need to actually renovate the spaces usually. So they're gonna need construction, they're gonna need architects, they're gonna need just job after job just needed. And then once the dispensary is actually open, they're going to need a design, they're going to need menus, they're going to possibly even need like a website, they're going to need fucking people to run the counter, they're going to need trimmers for the grows, just etc., etc. There's just a huge list of jobs that come out of the black market and into the legal market and become all readily taxed. Like all this stuff that was happening under the table, all this illegal construction work, all this illegal design work, all this, well, not too much illegal design work, but all this legal like trimming work, all the legal people working, all that is going to be brought above the table. Everybody's going to be on the books, everybody's going to have taxes, it's going to be like income tax, marijuana taxes, mad money for the state, mad money for the city. So to say that that's a job killer is fucking... It's idiotic. Like, this guy is missing half of his brain. Either that or he's convinced. I tried really hard to find a way to put myself in Steve Bach's shoes to understand how he could call it a job killer. And the only thing I can think of was that he has the stoner stigma in his mind. He has this idea that all of a sudden all these pot stores are going to start popping up and all these unsavory people are going to start moving in and they're going to start ruining the community, and then normal people are going to start partaking in pot, and they're just going to start getting lazy and start getting into car accidents, and it's just going to cause mayhem in his city. And to that, I pray that his view is not that ignorant. That's the only thing I can think of. Because if you look at the fucking reality of it, if you look at the fucking simple logic of it, you get money. You get a lot of money. And you get a lot less crime, man. Like, that's something that people don't even realize, and that's something that that the cops try to downplay. But there was a RAND study that came out and was even refined and still showed that there is no increase in crime, and there's actually a decrease, I think. Or let's just say there's no increase in crime around dispensaries. So to say that, you invite hoodlums or you invite like unsavory people, it's ridiculous. This is just like your liquor store, it's just like your pharmacy. It's just another store that's gonna make money. It's gonna make money for your local economy. It's gonna create jobs. It's gonna make people happy. Just let it go, bro. Yeah. So the governors and the mayors and lots of people holding legal pot back. But even though cannabis stores can't open in some cities that they ban it, you can still grow plants in your own house and you can still smoke as long as it's not in a public place. So they can't stop that. It was interesting, though. I don't have the article here. You guys should look it up to confirm if I'm even talking bullshit. But I saw an article recently that was discussing how in Washington, after the I-502 was passed, there have been, I think it was like 88 fucking marijuana possession charges in 4 weeks. And 91% of them, were just like simple possession. They weren't people who had previous criminal charges and weren't doing anything criminal. And I thought it was fascinating how people were still getting caught for pot. Like, they mentioned specifically that these 88 people had less than 2 ounces of pot on their possession. So that means that they were just smoking in public, and the police didn't like that, even after their police captains have expressed to them, leave the pot smokers alone. You're not doing anything wrong. It's wasting our time. And the article, interestingly, discussed still how it was saving the county money. Which I guess is good, but at the same time, it's still like they were talking about people like as if they were like livestock that made them money. But like they said, these 88 people pre I-502 would have brought in the state this amount of money through fines and all that. And then now, after I-502, because it's like a misdemeanor, they bring in, this much. And it was like a difference of like, let's say, a total of 2,500 for 88 people to like 80,000. Like something crazy, like a big number. And they were like, even though that, it seems like the state's losing money by legalizing, the state actually gains money because lawyers and judges and all that are on salaries, so the less work they do, they still get paid the same. So it's like gives them more time to focus on the case. I don't know. They tried to really spin that shit positive, and the only thing I can see was like they still wanted to like rope in people and make money off of them. It's really crazy how the system works. I still can't believe that we live in a world where there's people who are allowed to exploit speeding tickets and traffic tickets and things of that nature, and speed traps and all that garbage. Like it's a blatant case of cops just abusing their power and raking in money for the legislative branch, for the government itself, placing quotas even. Some counties have been caught doing. So, the police are the money wranglers, and the judges and the juries are just the money collectors. It's pretty fucking crazy. And they'll put you in a cage if you don't give them their money. It's really fucking crazy. And they're still doing it with pot. Like, we're still criminals somehow. Like, I try to equate it. Like, these people were carrying under 2 ounces of pot on them, and somehow that was an offense, and they had to be ticketed like $50 to $100. Now, if I was carrying a sack of fucking tomatoes down the street, a cop might stop me and be like, "Why the fuck are you carrying a thing of tomatoes down the street?" But he's not going to stop me and be like, "Excuse me, sir, there is a law in the books that says you're not allowed to carry more than 2 ounces of tomatoes on you. Let me see that. We're going to have to take that down to the station and weigh that and see if you're under the limitations, and we're going to have to give you a misdemeanor, even if you are." Like, what the fuck? I have a fucking... What? These are fruits? These are plants in my bag? Like, how is this hurting people around me? Like, what is going on? Like, what? Like, are you going to fine me for my iPod next for crossing the street? Oh, wait. Yeah. Let's move on. I was getting ranty. What growing up with an incarcerated father taught me about the drug war. This is brought to us by Alternate. I'm not going to read it. It was one of those, it's the touchy article I mentioned at the beginning. But this is another case where I like to highlight this for you guys and just, bring it to the forefront of consciousness that people are still being incarcerated for pot, and families are broken apart, and lives are ruined, and it's not like a fucking game. Like, people like to laugh about it, people like to make Twinkie jokes at the expense of potheads, while, this guy, writes this really touching article about how he loses his father and he gets him deported for life, and he can never see his father on U.S. soil, all because of some drugs on him, like some contraband. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Mark Emery, man. A lot of people have been talking to me about Mark Emery, post more articles about Mark Emery. I posted like 2 or 3 in the last couple months about his his time running out soon. He's going to be out, and he was transferred recently to Canada, which is very nice for Jody and just all of his family and friends. And him. I'm sure he just loves to be back on Canadian soil. It's like a pride thing after being stripped away like that. Yeah. But yeah, that's another case of a dude, a family being broken apart, a corrupt system, using jailing and its laws to make an example out of someone, to say, hey, we don't want pot legal, and this is what happens when you really support pot and you put your money behind it and you make it like a public ordeal. We make an example out of you. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. People like to hold on to their government like a security blanket, as if the government isn't made up of just people like them, as if the government is some body of like omnipotent beings who know better than everybody else. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. And the last article today, DEA raiding dispensaries in Washington. This comes to us from the Seattle Times. But basically in Tacoma, Seattle, and something with an R, I think, dispensaries were getting raided by the DEA. Let me see. I posted 2 news articles about it, and I posted a video which did a better job of highlighting the story. Excuse me. Oh, that was the black beans from earlier. Gotta love them though. Fiberful. Interesting. I did not tag it video. Shame on me. But basically, the DEA started cracking down on a number of dispensaries in Washington, just taking all of their pot, money, business records, all that jazz, plants. And one of the dispensaries, namely, the guy comes out and he talks to the news. Yeah, this guy. Tacoma. Oh, I hate when they morph the voice like that. That's so fucking creepy. They pick like a really weird filter. But basically, one of these dispensaries, the guy was getting raided, and he's been raided before. He's been raided, I think, twice, he said before. And the DEA, one of the officers, comes up to him, and he's like, we've caught you doing this before. And he's like, yep. And he's like, why do you keep doing it? And he's like, because I want to help people. And the DEA responded like, I didn't expect that answer. I'm sure that dickhead expected him to say, because I want to make money, because I'm a greedy fuck. But no, some people are in it for compassion. But yeah, I got like an ask from a couple people in the area who are freaking out. They're like, oh my god, I'm on my mobile, man. Dispensaries are getting raided, shit is going down. Can't report on it any further because I'm on my mobile, on Starbucks and shit, gotta go. And it was pretty intense. It was pretty intense to see it like break and happen. But it's fascinating to see this happen after recreational marijuana has been legalized. Like, what does this say? Is the DEA going to start coming in and raiding the cannabis stores when they open and the legal cannabis grows? Who's going to stop that? Or is the government finally going to stand up and say something because it's recreational marijuana, or are they going to stand down? You really have to look at these DEA raids as messages. They're like the DEA coming out and trying to send a message to the people like, hey, we're still here, and we still don't agree with what you're doing. They claim in the video and in the article that it was part of a 2-year-long investigation. Yet, this happens to completely legal dispensaries. This kind of shit happens to places like Oaksterdam, to places like Harborside. Places that are completely, like, they keep their books, like, on fucking public record and shit. Like, not exactly, but they have open books, man. They don't fuck around. So look at these DA attacks as just messages from your government. And every time you think, hey, I wonder if the government's gonna lighten up, and you see another raid, nope. That is the DEA telling you directly, no. Got an ask here. Let's move on to the ask box, shall we? If you want to follow along with the ask box, you can't, because it's like my inbox. But if you want to see like previous questions, if you want to ask me a question, head over to WeedPornDaily.com/FAQ, and that is our list of frequently asked questions and a list of like helpful links and resources, as well as a place to just ask us a question. You can ask us anything, but I would read the warning before you do. I was laughing earlier because I got an ask, and I was trying to verify if they were 18 or not. It was kind of hard. I don't think they are. But the question was, what are you required to do to own a dispensary? Like, do you have to go to college, or what? I mean, it's funny. It's funny because, if I were to answer this seriously, it's almost ironic because there is a college that you can go to. I mentioned it earlier. That's why I laughed. Oaksterdam was a actual college that you could enlist. I think it was the U.S.'s first cannabis college. And you can go and you can learn how to grow cannabis, how to own a dispensary, all the laws involved, like how to get a license, all that jazz. And they shut it down. But there are a couple cannabis colleges that have since opened across the U.S. I'm not sure where, but I'm guessing in medical states. I would shoot for Colorado, California, and maybe Oregon, Washington. Yeah, maybe Arizona? Maybe. I don't know. Google it. Cannabis college. I bet there aren't that many. But yeah, I've been getting a lot of underage asks. And it's the summer. I expect since school's out, all the 14 to, all the 12 to, because I've gotten like 12-year-olds, 12 to fucking 17-year-olds are out there just waiting to like send a really trolly ask. If you guys haven't seen, let me see. I've been compiling the latest. I've been compiling the best, the worst, the highest, etc. asks into a book. At first I was going to call it the Badass Book. I was going to just take all the trolls, all the haters, all the just shitty asks, and throw them into a book, and kind of just keep it for myself as kind of like an immortalization of just like all the hate that I've gathered along my way, and just everything that never stood in my way and I just scoffed at. And it's some of it's just funny, man. Like, I'm looking at the list now, like one of these people too high says, oh no, those are the haters. Whoa, I was like, wow, this looks so hateful. This isn't too high at all. My cat's stuck in a hamster ball, and it's been a day and a bit. Help. So keep the motherfucking blunt in your pocket, because doggy dog is all about the ziggy-zag smoke. What if the whole world was weed, and you wants to smoke it, but you can't because your mom will find out? What will you do? Yeah. So just people, like, ever since I've been running the Ask Box for over 2 years now, and in my time, like, people, like, I always scoff, I always laugh at people who try to give me advice, or people who give advice about haters and stuff, because after dealing with 2 years of, like, pure haters and trolls and everything, like, I don't know, like, I have this understanding of the situation that's very difficult to, or for other people to understand. I can impart it, but you don't understand it until you live it. And I wanted people to live it, and I wanted to take all this content, all this, like, creativity that people were giving me, and that I couldn't, some of these asks I have responded to with gifts or, like, a response, but some of them, they just sat in the Ask Box for like a year or more, and I feel bad, I'm like, I have thousands of asks sitting there, and these people took the time to come to me, especially when they were high. Like, they used their high time, which was, like, super valuable in my opinion. Like, whenever you're high, that, like, time period of highness, whether, like, when you're smoking, the, like, 10 to, like an hour, or, like, if you have an edible, like, this, like, 4 to 6 hours, 4 to 8 maybe. Like, that time period is, like, very precious, and what you do with that is, like, a magical experience. And the fact that they came to my website and interacted with me, like, they not only, like, came to the website and browsed it, but they clicked about enough to find the Ask Box and try to, create an exchange with me, or, impose a thought. Like, all that, I just couldn't let it go. I wanted to put it out there. So, I expanded the book now, and it's not just a badass book, but just a ass book. I'm not, there's no final title yet, but I've been releasing like, work in progress images. If you check out the blog.weedporndaily.com/tagged/WPD space news, you can see just all the updates. I say all the updates, and it's two. I've been working on avatars and the formatting of the asks. It's basically an imitation of the Tumblr Ask Box, if you've ever seen it. It's literally like a vectorization of it. And I'm going to be taking, like, all of the... what I wanted to do is just take all the avatars that I've seen in my Ask Box, because there's like 30 or 40 avatars that 90% of the stoners use in the community for some reason. There's always that fucking smiley face that's, like, smiling and its eyes are up and maybe blazed. There's always a horse head. There's always Rasta colored something. So I wanted to take all those and represent them in the book. But I had a discussion with Miss WeedPornDaily, and I was like, damn, I can't just take people's copyrighted work and put it in my book, even if it is a parody. I'm just blatantly stealing someone's work and copying it, and even like a crude vectorization of it wouldn't be enough. So what I did was I tried to do my best to create my own avatars, my own original ones that were heavily inspired by the cliches. So I have the Rasta color, I have a horse head, I have one of the default Tumblr avatars, some personal WeedPornDaily designs that I've actually seen people use as avatars, and I have the rights for, thankfully. And yeah, I have some more that I worked on and I didn't post. But yeah, I think it'll be an interesting book, and I actually want to answer questions in the book. It's not just going to be a book of questions. I actually will be answering questions, because I started adding fact questions, like, you know, what does THC mean? Fuck, what's another? I draw a blank. You know, what is BHO? No, seriously, what is BHO? Like, I get that question every single day. What are dabs? Just stuff like that. Just really questions that aren't stupid at all, but may have been posed in a stupid way, or in an ignorant way, or just asshole-ish way. Or just maybe not in an asshole-ish way at all. Sometimes the question is just like indica or sativa. But yeah, I plan on answering, like, you know, what does THC mean? I'll have like a little box and it'll break it down. So, you know, you can like sit there, and it'll be the book was planned to be a size of like 5x8, like a little pocket book. Something like you'd pick up at Urban Outfitters, or like one of those trendy stores like that section Borders with all the like designer books. Yeah. But it'll be small, and I plan on it being something like you pull out in sessions, and you pull out with your friends, and you're just like, yo, what does THC mean? And they're like, I don't know, nigga, fucking the high cannabis or something, and you're like, nah, dog, it means tetrahydrocannabinol, and, you know, it's this and this, and you break that shit down. Or you're just sitting there and you're like, dude, look at this fucking shit, and can you believe that somebody asked this? Or somebody said this? Yeah. It's interesting, because I was hesitant about the book. I was going to take my fucking time with it. I was planning on it being like years-long project where I just compile it and whatever and just do it whenever I want. And as I started announcing that I was working on it, a lot of people started really expressing an interest in seeing it, and it really surprised me. I was like, really? I mean, I was expecting maybe to sell a couple copies, but for people to actually show an interest, like, I thought I was going to have to force it down to people's throats with advertising and stuff. But yeah, the Badass book, code name, coming soon. I told somebody, I think on Twitter or Vine, because they asked me when the book was projected to come out. I'm going to be releasing it on one of those self-publishing websites, like I think Lulu, or I think the one I'm using is called Bloom or something. But I'll be releasing it, hopefully, God willing, mid-August. And you'll definitely see it. Like, when I release something, I pimp it every day, as you can tell by the t-shirts and shit. Yeah. Oh yeah. You guys haven't heard, because I haven't done a podcast in a while, my bad. We got a PAX in the office. I recently went on a trip with Miss WeedPornDaily to a convention, and it was fucking sick. Like, I love conventions. It's always really fun to get in that just environment and just be swarmed with just people who have similar interests, and be able to like photograph just all these incredible costumes and stuff, and it's just really great, really great. But I went to a convention recently, and I wasn't able to smoke at the hotel or at the con. I mean, I guess I could like smoke a joint or something like outside, but I found that with joints and blunts, especially blunts, they leave like a smell on your lips and your clothes of like burnt like paper, and anybody who gets close to you, like, they just smell it and they know, you know, and I want it to be as stealthy and discreet as possible. So I decided, like, hey, we have Miss WeedPornDaily has a magic flight box, let me take that, and hopefully that'll do the job. And I've used the Magic Flight Box before and like done a review on it. And it's a solid product. I like it. And you know, it was alright. Like, I was able to sneak away out of the con every now and then and grab a couple tokes, go back in. You know, nobody was the wiser. I was kind of high, you know, not bad. After like a full trench or two, I was able to feel like half a bowl's effect from the Illadelph, basically. Like, not like I'm totally functioning, totally there, but my pain is kind of gone, and I'm a little tingly, like that kind of high. Yeah. So that was alright. And I also, if you guys saw, I made cannabis oil pills, and made a bunch of those. And I was taking those like 3 at a fucking time and shit. And that wasn't really doing it for me, cause I burned them a little bit, and throughout the day I just kept burping up the taste of vaped weed. And it was disgusting. I just could not. It was like making me more nauseous and more sick. So, I just needed like a good smoking experience, man. And the Magic Fly Box was alright, but like, I was watching people walking around the con just fucking smoking vapor pens. Like, just walking around like a little like vape, like fucking sonic screwdriver looking shit. That's the only way I can describe it. Hanging from their neck. And they would put it to their lips, puff, puff, and a big cloud of smoke would come out. Right in, like, an enclosed area with lots of people. And I'm like, wow. Like, I can't bring in the flight box, because the second that I pull out this fucking, like, weird box, it's gonna look weird, you know? And people, you know, they've made, like, stealthy things. It's really easy to put, like, a Magic Flight Box in, like, a can or a cup, and, like, have the acrylic pipe go inside of a straw. But, fuck that, man. Like, that's too much work. Like, I just want to put that shit to my mouth and fucking smoke, and I don't know, like, honestly, it's hard enough with the Magic Flight Box pressing in that fucking battery. Like, it hurts my finger after a trench. Like, I have to alternate between left and right hand. And I fucking work out and shit, man. Like, you know, I'm not a pussy. Like, Miss WeedPornDaily can't even do it, really. She, like, has a really hard time doing it. She uses, she has a weird technique. But yeah, it's really fucking hard. And people are like, just use a fucking rubber band, bro. And I'm like, I don't know what rubber band you're using, man. Like, I don't know what industrial, what space plastic you're using, but it does not compress a battery enough. But yeah. So that was kind of inconvenient. It was nice in the hotel, because I could just smoke and smoke and smoke, and it was like whatever, and it was really relaxing, and I could just sit there, and I could charge one battery while I used one, and then by the time I finished with one battery, the other one would be done, and I could swap and shit, and it was nice. But on the go, it just didn't do the job. It wasn't as good of a portable pipe as it could be, you know? And I got pissed. I was like, you know, fuck this. I see fucking Coral walking around with this shit. I've seen a lot of people with this shit. I've seen people in my fucking, like, community walking around with the packs, smoking it, and I'm like, why don't I have one? So I got one. I decided to spoil myself and got a PAX. It is fucking perfect. Like, when I got it, you guys could, I'm like talking so much, you guys could follow along with the PAX review on the website. If you look up the tag PAX, or the tag specifically Raven is the name of our PAX, and that'll be like our personal PAX tag. Raven as in like the bird or the comic book character. Teen Titan. But PAX is a rectangle iPod looking vaporizer that's just the perfect portable herb vaporizer. Sadly can't do oils, only flowers, but it's just super discreet. It's like I got mine in black, and it's just a black box with light on it that lets you know the temperature, like if it's ready, and flashes if the battery's low, if it's whatever. Like it's a status light. And it's got a pop-up mouthpiece. And herbs go on the bottom. It's just like the perfect contained vaping experience. Super fucking streamlined. Just like no pieces to put together. You just have 8 packs in your hand. You pop open the bottom herb chamber, and I just popped open mine, and it has like old vape butt in it. Ugh. Let me clean that out. But you have a fairly sizable chamber. It's probably smaller than a Magic Flight Box Trends. Somebody asked me how much bud you can put inside. I haven't like measured it yet, like weighed out a bud, broken it down, and seen if it can stuff inside. But it fits a fair amount. Like if you grind it pretty finely, you can probably get, estimating here, like 0.5. Nah, that's, whoa, what am I saying? That's like a blunt. Maybe like a 3.4 in there, which isn't bad. I wouldn't recommend overstuffing it. I tried that the first couple times, and it has a hard time heating up that much herb. Well, mine wasn't that finely grounded either, though. If you really grind it finely, you can really get a good even burn. But yeah, the herbs go on the bottom, and fairly easy to clean the chamber. You just put a Q-tip inside with alcohol, and same thing with the cap. Magnetic, so it's super fucking slick. You just like kind of get it close, and you hear it snap. And yeah, the mouthpiece, you pop it up to turn it on. And within 30 seconds, your herb is ready to go. It has 3 preset settings: low, medium, and high. And medium gives you like a vapor with a little bit of smoke. Low is like pure vapor, and high is like you get some pipey hits, some chiefy hits, which is nice. Good battery life. For every hour charging, you get 2. I forget what the maximum is, but I've been able to keep mine charged basically a week. I'll use it once a day, and it'll last me like 4 to 5 days. And that's with me, like, when I use it, I'll sit there for at least 5 to 10 minutes and just chief on it and kill a bowl or half. Yeah, so great battery life. The only problem with the battery is that it's a unibody design. You know, it's like those fucking iPods and Mac laptops that they don't let you remove the battery. So you have to go into, like you have to go into Apple, you have to send it back into packs and just buy a new one. Or I'm sorry, you don't send it back to packs. You just keep your broken shit and you buy a new one. Just like Mac. Yeah. Or no, I'm sorry, Mac has like battery replacement programs, and I read a wiki somewhere, and they said that PAX, or Plume rather, the company that produces the PAX, was working on a battery replacement program. But currently, if your battery dies, if you misuse your, what do they call it? Fuck, I'm like calling it an LCD battery in my head. This is like a stoner moment here. I've hit a pothole. Fuck. What are they called? I fucking... lysergic batteries? No, they're not acid batteries, bro. What the fuck are they called? Whatever, like rechargeable batteries, bro. Like that lithium. There you go. If you misuse your lithium, that's your fucking problem, bro. You gotta buy new packs. And they are pretty pricey. It's $250, like normal price. You might be able to get it from your local head shop at a cheaper price, but honestly, I've seen local head shops mark it up even more. So, be very careful. Or just bring a girl. That's what I do. Bring a girl with tits. Yeah. But yeah, for $250 though, honestly, it's worth it. Like, I could take this thing into like, people, they say they take Magic Flight boxes into movie theaters. I could see that because it's dark, but I could take this shit into a movie theater. I could take it into a restaurant. I could take it like anywhere, and like nobody would know. Nobody would even know. It's just this discreet black box. As long as I cover the light, it almost would look like I'm popping like a mint or something, you know? Or if I have a jacket, it's easy to cover. Like, it's just very, very just stealthy. The perfect portable vaporizer. As I, like, drop it. The only thing that bugs me about it, other than the battery thing, is, like with these unibody designs, you really have to be careful cleaning them. And packs, they send, when you buy it, they give you 5 pipe cleaners and some alcohol swabs. And what you're supposed to do is you're actually supposed to run a pipe cleaner through the device. And you're supposed to do that basically after every charge. And that's like a little inconvenient. Like, I think cleaning a bong is hassling enough every single day, but having to like I hate, one of my pet peeves is buying something and then having to like keep buying other shit to sustain it. You know? Like, I love the fact that I can clean my bong with just like straight alcohol and like regular salt, and I don't have to buy some like special bong cleaner. You know? That's just expensive. And then they come along with the packs and they're like, yeah, you're going to need to buy pipe cleaners, and you're going to need to buy a special PAX lubricant for the mouthpiece. And if you don't lubricate the mouthpiece after cleaning, the device might not work. And it just stops functioning altogether. And there's nothing you can do until you lubricate the mouthpiece. I mean, that's a little disheartening. They sent me 2 lubricants, and apparently like 1 pack of lubricant lasts a while, but it's just the fact that I have to buy lubricant, you know. And I'm sure you could probably like buy it wholesale on the cheap. It's just apparently factory food safe lubricant or something like that. Like, they made it sound like something very common, something whole foody. So yeah. But definitely recommend it if you got the money to splurge, or you just want something super fucking stealthy on the go, or you want something reliable. There's a lot of portable vapes out there that they're really big and bulky, and they got like, they also charge by battery, but they're just so huge. And then there's a Magic Flight box with those fucking batteries and all the pieces, and this is just the perfect, just put it in your hand, pack a bowl, go. Yeah. So yeah, packs. You can check out my review. I wrote like a long review. Miss WeedPornDaily saw it and she was like, "Why'd you write so much?" And I mean, it's more than a review. I try to break it down. I try to tell you what the PAX is, all of its features, and I even have a section in the end where I put tips for new users, because PAX doesn't really cover everything in its user guide, like party mode, where I've noticed I'll be using the PAX and it goes into standby, and standby is like a battery conserving mode or whatever, but it won't vaporize your bud. You know, it'll just sit there and basically be off until you pick it up and like shake it a little bit, and then it has to reheat again, and it's really inconvenient. I'm like, fuck, I gotta wait like another 30 seconds to like this just and party mode turns off standby, so it's just constantly vaping, constantly pumping it out, which is nice. It's nice for sessions if you want to keep passing it around and you don't want it to stop, or if you just puff into yourself and you just need like a good long puff. Also linked the official PAX cleaning guide for anybody who is interested in that. Highly recommend that you watch it, because miscleaning your PAX can void your warranty. And I think that was it. And I have, of course, links to buy it. I have a big image on the sidebar if any of you guys have been interested in where to buy the packs. Currently, Vape World is one of the best places to buy the packs. It's where I buy all my vaporizers. It's secure, it's safe, and I'm pretty sure that they can ship to like all 50 states. Whereas like some places have like anti-bong, laws. Like vaporizers are kind of different territory, I believe. So, this is like you're better off ordering from Vape World than you are from any other like head shop-esque site. It comes super fast. It came with a free grinder. That was nice. I have a couple like acrylic grinders from head shops and shit. Oh, 1 second, I gotta clean the hand. Saw a video today on YouTube of Farmer John 420, a California or Washington, I believe, cannabis grower. He had a big ass spider in his house, and the video was titled, getting rid of a spider. And I was like, oh, he's gonna fucking just smash it with his hand, or maybe he'll be polite and put like a cup over it and get rid of it. Like, just seeing that big-ass spider was enough for me. Like, it was at least, not the size of my hand, like a good, 5 to 6 inches. And that was, not with his legs spread out. But he took, a BB gun or something, and he just started shooting that shit. And, I was thinking about that today. I was like, yeah, sometimes you just gotta kill animals. I mean, that was a little much. But, yeah, I remember a while ago, I stumbled upon this Buddhist, thinking, or this Buddhist ideal, where, this temple had a sign up front, and it was like, please, ants and other creatures, please do not, come to this temple, because this is not, a place for you. And if you come here, we will be very sorry, but we will have to maybe kill you. And, we apologize for that. And I was like, that's very nice, because, we're sharing, this world with each other. And not only, human beings, we aren't the rulers of this world. We share it with all the other animals that make it a sustainable and living place, ecosystem. And by creating these living spaces, we kind of say, nature, you can happen out there, but, within this, set space, I kind of want nothing. I want, almost sterile space to myself. And, insects are gonna, nature finds a way, as Goldblum would say. And, sometimes you gotta kill roaches, ants, spiders, all these insects. And, I was like, man, that Buddhist ideal, that's so cool, man. That's so fucking smart, man. Putting a poster out and, telling the bugs, listen, bro, this is not your home. And, apologize, bro. And then it's all good in the hood, bro. And I was like, after a while, I started thinking about that ideal, and I was like, it's a little silly. It's a little silly. Now I think of it this ant is leading the way for an army of ants. This ant is at war with me. This ant, although we live, we coexist, it is still war. This ant, if it had the power, it would turn my house into a giant ant pile. It doesn't give a fuck about me. It does not think like that, So this ant is coming into my house, and if I don't kill this ant, it's gonna bring more ants with its fucking little scent trail and shit. And if I don't kill the roach, it's gonna plant more eggs and have more roaches in my house. Their idea is to come in and like, and basically invade. That is like, they are invading. It is like war. So to take this like, yeah man, yeah, don't come in here, bro. Like I'm over it. Like I'm over it. Like I used to squish an ant and be like, I'm sorry, bro. I'm so sorry I had to do that. And like, fuck you, bro. Like, what do you do? Like, you, thousands of years of evolution, and you guys still haven't figured out that you come into this place that's like totally alien, and you know you die from like raid. Like, and instead of like taking raid as an idea, or as a message, and staying outside, the ants like fucking evolve and get stronger against the raid and still invade. You know, it's like a fucking war against us. So fuck 'em. Fuck 'em. Don't abuse 'em though. Don't like hold a magnifying glass and like torture 'em. Just kill 'em. Let's get rid of 'em. Do what you have to do. Or if you can, like spiders, I try to like get 'em out. Like, if a roach is near the door or something, I'll kick it out. I won't kill it. Yeah. Actually, fuck roaches. Fuck roaches. All roaches. I wish roaches didn't exist. Fuck them. Like, I have like 2 or 3 bugs that like should not exist. Wasps. Like, what the fuck, nature? Like, why do wasps even exist? Like, they just exist to like fuck everything up. I'm okay with bees. Bees are alright, you know. They do their swarmy shit. You just stay inside, whatever. You don't fuck with the bee, you know. Even then, bee, they sting you, they die. It's like kamikaze, and they kill you, and boom, and it's almost like bittersweet. You're like, yeah, fucker. That's what happens when you fuck with me. Like, you die. And wasps, man, they'll just keep fucking stinging you, and they'll just keep coming at you. And they're just fucking malicious. And the Japanese ones are like the size of your fucking thumb. Like, they just should not exist. And roaches. Like the American roach, the German roach. Like any roach that just doesn't live in the dirt. That's like been like conditioned to live in a house should not exist. Yeah. Roach rant. How did I get on a roach rant? I don't even remember. Alright, what else is there? Oh yeah, I told you guys about the packs. I told you guys about the new Badass book. I have been producing a lot more videos for WeedPornDaily TV, aka our YouTube channel. I've been noticing a lot more likes, a lot more user interaction and comments. I'm really loving it. It really makes me produce more and makes me actually care. Because before I would just like pump out videos in a template and just get them out and barely edit them. And you know, when you guys actually engage, when you guys actually watch, when you guys actually care, is when I put more attention to it and I edit it more. And yeah. So yeah, it's been nice. Vine too. Vine, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I didn't even realize people followed us on Vine. I was literally just vining to fuck around. I would just pick up the phone and be like, I want to record this bong rip. I want to be artistic. Let me just record. And even then, it wasn't even about artisticness. After a while, it was just the sake of just recording the bong rip. And they got really stale, the vines, after a while. They were just like me hitting the bong, not moving the camera, just not even showing, like, just very like bad vines. And one day Miss WeedPornDaily picks up the iPhone, and she's like, hey man, like, you have like a bunch of likes and comments and all this shit. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she shows me the activity log, and she shows me my profile page, and really I didn't even really use the app. Like, I would open it, make a video, close it, and that's it. Call it a day. I wouldn't fuck around with it. I followed one person on it to give you an idea. It was, I think, Red Band. But yeah, like, nobody. So yeah, I didn't even realize that people were following me. People were commenting. People were engaging. I was getting people saying, like, what the fuck is this? Like, you just keep hitting the same bong in the same place, the same way. What is this garbage? And I'm like, oh my god, actually, I have an audience. Let me cater to them. Let me do something substantial here. I was just fucking around. Sorry, guys. So for the past month or so, I've been trying to do more creative vines, actually utilize the stop motion-esque aspect of it, and just be more quirky, be more open, be more like try new angles and stuff. Just not the same thing. I mean, it's still me hitting the same bong every day, but I try to change it up. Yeah, you see the packs every now and then. But yeah, YouTube Vine. I haven't been able to update Instagram for a while because I updated the app to get the video feature, and now I can't even I can't even crop images inside of Instagram without it crashing, and I can't use like another app. Like I had another app to crop the images and then take them into Instagram, and then that app I updated it as well, and updating it like totally made it not work. So Instagrams have been very few and far in between, and I can't even do Instagram video. Every time I record one on my iTouch, it just crashes. It's crazy. If you ever see one, it's always recorded on Miss WeedPornDaily's iPhone. But yeah, I think I touched on everything. I don't know. Did you guys see the new site? I say new site as it's... How many months old was that update? June 6th. Oh, wow, it wasn't that. Like 3 weeks ago, I updated the site to look completely different. Yeah. Yeah, so if you go to WeedPornDaily.com, it should look drastically different than it did a month ago. Not drastically, but it shifted around a bit. Working on a new revision. Basically, I'm just taking all the content that I've made and I'm really refining it, because I'm just reading all my guides, and some of them are just like a year old, and they really show the toll of time, and just like they really need an update. I most recently updated the hash and concentrates guide. I noticed like I had a problem with the database. We got hacked a couple times, and when I reverted to a backup, God damn, so many texts today. I had fuck, I lost my train of thought. Right, the hash and concentrates guide. We got hacked, so I went to a backup, and the backup actually was like fucked up. Like it wasn't a proper backup. So half of the guides on the website were like all chopped up and had like weird characters in them, and were missing images, and it was all fucked up. Like the hash guide was just missing half of the hashes. It had like cannabis butter, it had cannabis, it had bubble hash and keef and stuff, but it didn't have shatter, it didn't have just a bunch of them. It was really disappointing. So I just went in, updated that, added more images, and I tried to change the text hierarchy and make it easier to read, easier to flow through. I've been trying to just find a concise way to condense all the cannabis information that I know into the easiest way possible. Like I was trying to think of like what kind of infographic-esque magazine-like articles could I pump out that would help people understand things like hashes, like a chart maybe, or like just something, just a visual representation of hash, either textually or graphically, or something that would convey it more properly than I have already. Just like an image, title text, paragraph, image, title text, paragraph. It works, but I want something more engaging, more interesting, more, I don't know. But yeah, so that's been the struggle. But, god damn, rewriting all the guides. So keep an eye out for that. And working on the the site's like hierarchy as well. I'm adding breadcrumb links and stuff so you can find your way around the site a little easier. Things like that. As always, you can stay up to date by tracking the WPD tag. That's where I post all our latest pot porn, all our latest content basically, and news. Got another bowl here packed. I'm ready to call it a day, man. It's been a while. This is the longest podcast I've done. And I've got a bunch of texts to answer, apparently. But I love you guys. I really do. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for fucking harassing me for a podcast. It was coming. It was coming. And plenty more are coming. I've been very busy with life. I've been restructuring my life, really committing to yoga. I've been on that yoga game for the past couple months, like every single fucking day. I'll probably talk about that and a lot in the future podcasts. Meditating, working on like side projects, like that badass book. I want to get you guys those hemp wicks. You guys have been asking me, where can I get a hemp wick? How do I make a hemp wick? I'll get all that information to you guys. And sorry, another bug. And yeah. So plenty busy, but I hope it pays off. Thank you guys for sticking around. Hope you guys don't think I'm angry in the ass box. Remember, it's all a show. It's all a show. All the world's a theater, and we are all characters, or something Shakespeare said. He was a stoner too. What's up? I love you guys. Thank you for listening. And I think I'm going to sign off with this bowl. I am Ganja Grouch. Again, follow us on Twitter. Please check out our shop, shop.weedporndaily.com. Buy a t-shirt, a case or something, a pillow. Pillows are the bomb. We actually make the most money off of pillows. But pillows are actually the coolest product in my opinion. Well, I guess cases. No, cases are like the most utilitarian because it's always with you. But then you could say pillows are utilitarian because you're sleeping on weed. I don't know. Or you could put prints up in your house of nice pictures of nugs and stuff. I've had a couple dispensaries purchase like pictures of nugs or the cannabis THC or CBD formulas and stuff. It looks really nice framed. Please purchase. All that stuff pays my salary for the website. Like I don't make any money off of the website. We don't really run like money ads that often, and the like Amazon and High Times ads we have, they don't make any money like at all. I've made like 80 cents off of Amazon. So please, just anything you can buy on the shop, I would appreciate it. And that's it. I think that is it. Hope your hash nails are heated by now, and bowls packed, and joints possibly already rolled, and you're lighting up a half-smoked one, maybe a fat roach again. What's up? Cheers. Definitely Blue Dream. Stay regular, super stoners.